welcome to hour number 8. Now, rather than showing you what I've done at the beginning of this video, and I'm still eating peanuts, by the way. Love peanuts, they're great. You are going to have to make cylinders for the rotary engine. Now, will that focus? I don't know. It's not focusing. Anyway, so you're going to have to make cylinders. Now, the way you make the cylinders is you wrap them like this around a straw. Now, how are you going to cut something round square? Now, this is not in the instructional video. This is me. So this is the Baron's topical tip. Okay, if you want to cut that square, get yourself a 4.5mm drill bit. Now I don't know the imperial size of 4.5. You're just going to have to do a conversion online, aren't you? If you're not in the UK. Anyway, get with the program. So 4.5 drill bit will fit very, very snugly into the top of that straw. Okay, now you get your sticker, you line up the top end. Now the good thing about this is you get a nice straight edge for your next cylinder instead of a jagged edge. I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so you get your sticker, okay, and you offer that up to the top of the straw. I know that the drill bit's a dark colour, so it's probably not coming out too well, but you wrap that around, okay, like so. Right, make sure it's stuck down. Okay, then we'll tilt the camera. Whoop. Tilt the camera like this. Okay, and then what you do, you can see that. There's the bottom of your cylinder. You get your knife. Use the bottom of the sticker as your guide, and then just roll the straw. There is your cylinder. Pull it off. There you go. And on the other end, you've got a perfectly flat edge. And that is the Baron's top tip for making your cylinders for the Sopwith Pup from Microaces. On with the rest of the show. Well, just something I'm going to pick up on here. John Porter's talking about lubricating the motor, and he's using some oil from the railway train shop, and I haven't got what he's got because I wasn't expecting to see it. So I thought to myself, what would Dad say? Well, I know what Dad would say, because after Dad left the Spitfire factory in Castle Bromwich, he was in the Royal Corps of Transport and he was a mechanic, and he taught me one or two things about engines and cars and lubrications and stuff. And I have to thank Dad for this. He's no longer with us, but maybe in spirit. And one of the things I learned, well, here's the thing, you see, for those who have been paying attention, I am a lawn man. I love my lawn. And the one thing that we use on lawnmowers to lubricate them, especially a cylinder mower, is vegetable oil. And it's great because it's organic for a start, and it's not got any minerals in it. So what I'm going to do, I'll put some olive oil into a pop bottle cap, and I'm just going to put the toothpick in there and just drop it in. And you'll find that will naturally find its own way into any bearings. Just a little tiny bit there. and that will never turn black, and it will never pick up dust or dirt, and it's just totally natural. So there you go, that's lubricating the motor for your Sopwith Pup. If you don't happen to have at hand this railway lubricant. Now what I would say is do not use WD-40. WD-40 is not a lubricant. Yeah, it's not designed to be a lubricant. It's designed primarily to help keep out damp and stuff like that. Dad taught me this, you know, in the old days before electronic ignition. If your car wouldn't start, wipe your rotor cap, put some WD-40 in it, starts first time. So don't use WD-40. If you've got any 3-in-1 oil, which is a mineral oil, it's up to you whether you want to use that or not. I don't know what this oil is for the railway, but anyway, that's what I'm using. I'm using vegetable oil, and it's nice and clean, and it won't turn black or anything. And if you've got enough of it, I suppose you could cook some chips. Okay. Hello. This is the end of hour 8. Now I got a couple of advisories here, but first of all, this is what you get after 8 hours. Okay, and it'll look like that. Now the prop's only on temporarily, so I'll take that off, and I'll take the cowl off. There's the cowl. Now I've not weathered that. I kind of like it the way it is. Okay, and there's your engine, and that just pops off like this. Okay, and you'll notice these 3 little spikes, and they're designed to guide that cowl on. I would have liked to see one at the bottom, to be honest. I think that would help a lot, but we're going to see what's in hour 9. Now here's the thing, the guy's finished hour 8 on the vinegar stroke, because that's almost ready to go in, slot in and fly it. But I guess I'm jumping the gun. Maybe, you know, there's a lot more to do and I'm not aware of it. So to be fair, you know, I'm just going to have to wait and send him another email. So come on, I'm waiting, I've got to go at hour 9 and people are waiting to see my video. There is one little advisory for the tail end of this. See this yellow strap? This is the battery strap, and that is just glued on with the foam safe. What do you call it? I haven't got it in front of me. Now, what I would advise when you come to glue this on is put your battery in place, okay, to make sure that you've got enough room for that to slip underneath it. I think that would be advisable, because if you glue it on and you haven't tried the battery on it, you'll find that that battery won't fit. And you're going to go, oh! I know I would. So I decided to, when I put that strap on, to put the battery in place and then glue it in. So you'll end up with this after 8 hours, and your engine, which actually looks quite good, quite pleased with that. A little bit fiddly, it's 1 or 2 bits on this are a bit fiddly, but you know, it's okay, it's alright, it's cool. So that goes onto there, and the boss, the propeller boss, sticks on. That obviously screws on, which I'm not going to do all the way. And there's your cowl, which I've not weathered. Just decided at this stage not to. I won't change my mind. If you do want to weather it, then I would suggest an engine oil weathering. That would be most applicable, I think. He's used a rust. Well, this is aluminium. Aluminium don't rust. Anyway, there you go, that's the end of our hour 8. So I'm going to wait until he does hour 9 before I publish any of this, because otherwise it's just going to be a really short video, and it'd be kind of nice to get this finished, and hopefully at the end of this I can fly it, and I'll show you flying. So that's what you end up with. I think it looks quite good, to be truthful. There you go. On to hour 9. Bye bye. Hello, welcome to hour 9 of the Sopwith Pup. Now, I'm still waiting for the instructional video number 9 to be put onto YouTube. Now, I have to stress at this moment that there is no manual. There's no manual online. So if you're building the Sopwith Pup, you have to use the YouTube videos released by Microaces by John Porter. So at this point, number 9 was today's date, 13th of March 2024. So if you're buying this kit now, by the time you've got that, hopefully the video will be out there, and you'll be able to finish the whole build. But I can't, and I can't wait, because this weekend, well, there's 2 weekends left to go indoor flying, and I can't wait for number 9 to come out. So what I had to do is just use my initiative a little bit. There's a downloaded manual for the Sopwith Camel, so I've downloaded that, looked at some videos. I looked at what Cliff Harvey did on his Newport 17, mixed everything together and came up with my own solution. Now, so what you'll end up with after 9 hours is this. So, oh, the pilot's looking a bit bedraggled. Oh dear. There you go. So you'll end up with this, okay? And as you can see, there's the pilot, and there's the throttle. Now I have to say that is quite a meaty motor, and the engine spins. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, and everything else is on the right hand stick. So I've got my elevator and rudder on one stick. Okay, so all I've had to do is go into the mix here and put rudder onto elevator, and that seems to work just fine. Okay, so now balancing the model. To balance the model, you go right on that bend there on the top wing and balance it out. Now the lead weights that you're given comes in like a silver sticky back strip. Now I weighed the balance out at 3.9 grams. Okay, and I have left over a little weigh machine here, and so you see that's zeroed, and I'll put the 2 little pieces I have left over on. It comes out at 0.54 grams. So the amount of weight I've had to put in the nose, in the cowl, is 3.37 grams. Okay, 3.37. Now your model might be different, but at least it's a guide to what you need to do to get the CG right, to the centre of gravity. And you've seen the motor working, and you've seen the surfaces working. So let's have a look at what I've had to do. I've had to do quite a lot, to be honest with you. Now, take the front off. just disconnect the motor so that now it all comes out as one unit. Now you'll notice there's something missing there, and that's the battery. Now, to get that battery to fit is not an easy task, I can assure you. And I had to make a decision, and I didn't make it very lightly either. And let me show you what I did. I put Velcro on the top there, yeah, and I put some on the battery. So to get that out now, I have to use my tweezers just to pull the battery out. Not by the lead, I might add. There you go, there's the battery. So that is actually still connected. So I'll disconnect that. Okay, now let me explain. I can turn my radio off now. There you go. That's now off. So, I'll just tilt that up just a little bit and we can see a little bit better. So, what happens is you'll have a little yellow strap that goes across here. If you put this on with that little yellow strap, that battery will either do that, go to one side or that side, and it won't behave itself. I need this to stay still. The other thing is, if you've got the battery all the way against the cowl there, the back of the cowl, you're going to struggle to get that on. What you need is a little gap like that, because that's got to fit on. It's got to go underneath there, and you've got to twist that so now the battery gets in the way, and you have a right old game. You know, you find yourself at 6s and 7s and the right old 2 and 8. So I decided, take that off, okay, Velcro that, put it inside, and then connect it and then put it inside. This then allows this, once you've got that into there, to freely push it in, turn it, to freely go on and off. It's the only way I could do it, because it just wouldn't behave. And I had to do a lot more. Take that out. I know you can't see it, but the back of the dummy motor, it has some stickers on it. There's no need to put those stickers on. You're never going to see the back of that motor. Not only did I have to take the sticker off, I had to take one of the circles out, so that motor, crikey, so that motor would have enough clearance for the front of those push rods to miss the cowl, and it was still hitting the cowl. So then what I had to do is get each push rod, put a little bit of glue on it, push each push rod down until it spins freely. So now the dummy motor spins freely, so there's a prop and it's not binding against the cowl. The other thing I had to do, I had to reshape the bottom of this former here, because the bottom of that cowl wouldn't go over it, wouldn't go over square. So I had to sand that down. You're keeping up with me now, right? So I had to do that. And then to make that fit, okay, you see these two holes here? Well, those two pins, see this one here, one either side, yeah, they go into there and then you twist it and it locks it, but they don't go straight in. So I had to get my Dremel out and make those holes not only a little bit wider but also deeper and a little bit longer. And now that will go in there, sweet as a nut. But that's not all, because when I had the battery originally on that yellow pad, you couldn't put it in. It physically wouldn't go. So then I dremeled the top of that former flat. This is before I decided to put the Velcro inside. I thought, I'll sod all this. I'm going to Velcro it inside. So then I had to dremel that flat, right? And then find out what is that battery catching on. Then I discovered it was catching on, you know those little wing triangular bits you put in here. In fact, the other side hasn't been touched. There's one here and there's one there. So I had to slice that ever so carefully so I didn't go through the fuselage. And then the battery would go in. But it was such a bind. I thought, why am I doing all this? I'll just Velcro it to the top of the fuzz. So I have. And it's sweet as a nut. Yeah, I know. So anyway, so I'm going to put that in there now. Okay. And it goes in absolutely no problem whatsoever. And you've seen it spinning and you've seen the surfaces moving. So I'm quite happy with that. Now, that's now ready to maiden. And I've got to take whatever weights I have left with me, just in case I need a little bit more weight in the nose, but I don't think I'm going to need to. So this Sunday, that's going to Shawbury, and I'm going to fly it. Okay. Now, what do I think of it? I think the amount of engineering that's gone into this is astounding. I think the amount of thought that's gone in the detailing is absolutely superb. I think if John Porter has designed this, as he said, all on his own, and he's a very, very talented and very, very clever chap, and I think he needs to be very proud of himself. I really, really do. And I think that this looks absolutely smashing. Now, I built a Sopwith Camel when I was around about 11 or 12. This sort of scale, 1/24 scale. I can't remember what the kit was. And now, at the time, I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could fly it, you know, because it looked great. No idea what happened to it. But anyway, but now I can. I know it's not a camel, it's a pup. But that is basically your Airfix model that flies. I mean, how cool is that? That's brilliant. I think it's been very well produced, and I think it's absolutely smashing. I really do. You wouldn't be able to build this without a manual for the first time anyway, and without some sort of instruction. I think it's a good idea for John Porter to make those videos, and I think he should keep on doing it. Some of his camera angles are not fantastic. He could do another camera there, to be honest, because sometimes his fingers are in the way or you can't quite see what he's doing. But to make a set of videos to show you how to do that is more or less what I'm doing with my channel, and I think that's he should keep doing it. The drawbacks, I'm having to wait for the videos, so I've been forced to figure this out without the aid of the instructional video. So what I think Microaces should do is, when they are ready to sell these, is build a whole series of videos to show you how to do it, and then publish this and publish the videos, because you know you've got people waiting, and yet I know it sounds a bit nasty, but it's true. He's producing other models and promoting them, but he hasn't given the videos for this yet. So if they're watching, please finish your collection of videos for the build so people know how to build them. It's a great model, and you're going to help your business and your channel if you do that. Now, I don't think that's unfair to say that, and there's nothing untrue about it, because that is a smashing model. It is, it's absolutely great, and I'm very, very confident that's going to fly well. Okay, so marks out of 10 without maidening it. I would say that's a good 9. It's a good 9. If that flies really, really well, which I think it will, I'll give it a 9.5, and I think it's definitely worth a go. I've learnt something new myself. I've not done, I think they call this peanut size, because I don't normally do indoor stuff. I'm just trying it out. So give it a go. Make sure you get all your bits. Now, the things you're going to need to build it with is obviously your radio and everything. I'm using a 150mm 1-cell battery, 3.7 volts. It does help if you use these. He does recommend these, and actually I've not used these before. These are pretty good. I like these. These are called bell end tools. Okay, so there you go. Set tweezers, 2 sets there. This glue, which is the foam safe, foam to foam Deluxe materials. Okay, now Deluxe materials are starting to get ahead in the market, and I like most of what they do, so this is pretty good stuff. Yeah, oh, I've got to show, that reminds me, I've got to show you this. Now, there's a first for everything. You see this nozzle here, this broken nozzle, this goes like this, okay, right, that's broken. That broke off, right, the top of that, and I didn't do anything to it, I was just unscrewing it, and that just came away. So now I had this part sticking out, this part stuck on there, I had glue pouring out like a fountain. I'm going, ah! Because I'm on the kitchen table, because I'm not in my workshop, see? So I'm on the kitchen table and I'm thinking, oh my God, if the wife sees me, she's going to kill me. So, I don't know. So if they're watching, can you fix that, please? I'm no good gluing it together. Anyway, you're going to need some 120 grit, glass paper. I use medium zap. Where I use it, it's not an issue with near the foam, so it should be all right. I did use this. This little, I suppose people call them mandrels. It's a little hand drill, okay, and I was using 1mm, 1.5mm. Don't worry, you'll know when to use it. Model side cutters. I used a white pen for marking on dark stuff. I used a brown Sharpie. I also used a bronze Sharpie, and I also used a silver Sharpie, because sometimes when you're building it, you're going to get white bits that you just can't hide, and you hide them with this. Yes, there you go. I do have a green one, but I didn't need to use it. And then obviously some pin nose pliers, probably 2 pairs actually better off. Some clothes pegs, and I did use some red and blue ink, because what I had to do was, and I nearly forgot, when you come to attaching your yellow and blue wired plug, you want to make sure that you got the red to red, so I put red and blue, because you get it all in there and you get it all on and you're messing around, and you go, okay, righto, and you're setting up the radio and the propeller goes the wrong way around. So that's why I've done it. to stop that propeller spinning the wrong way, you can now know that the red goes on the left and the blue goes on the right. But you know, these things help. They help. So there you go. There is one other thing I'm going to add on the end of this before you go. So if you're getting bored, don't miss this bit, and I'll just show you right now. So here we go. The last part before the maiden flight. It occurred to me, how am I going to transport this thing around? This is as delicate as glass. And I thought, oh, hadn't thought about it. So this is my solution. I bought a carry case. Now, I did struggle to find one the right size because of the length of the wing, the length of the fuselage, and the height between the wheels and the top of the wing. So unfortunately it cost me about £30. But you know, to save your model, to me that's worth it, because I'm going to use it more than once, and I'm going to build more than one of these. So yeah, so I got myself a case. Now I've not cut any of the foam out or anything, but it's certainly big enough to take the model. It's a hard case. You can lock it. There isn't any side straps on it, unfortunately, but I can add those on because I know how to do stuff like that. So that will be the carry case for the model and future models of this size. Also, I can just chuck it in a car, chuck it in a workshop. This isn't going to get broken. I can put the spare batteries in here and everything. So that's my solution. I don't know. I'm okay, you could get a plastic box or something, but it's going to rattle around. So this is the only solution I could come up with at a moment's notice. So there you go. So let's turn that up. Okay, let's take that out and close the box. So now for the maiden.